Jess. I'm gonna play some music and do some finger wiggles. Let's go. Make sure we can see the comments. What's up, Jessica's? Happy Thursday. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, Dave. Welcome, Bill. Good to see you both in the chat. Connection sucks, video and audio breaking up. Yep. No surprises. We're on RV Wi-Fi, so we'll do what we can do. Hello, Alex. Welcome. What's up, Wicked? Welcome, everybody. Maybe I can think about the stream quality. Maybe. Oh, it's bad, honey. Yeah, I don't know how much better I can make it. I am human again today. It was 6 and Saturday, but the streams always make the day better. No, see, here's the thing. The biggest problem right now, let me see. The biggest problem right now is I'm running off of a GoPro, a wireless GoPro, and RV park Wi-Fi. So, like, I could try to put it on a different Wi-Fi setting, but I think I'd have to restart the stream, and I don't think that's worthwhile. I think it's probably just going to be what it is today. So it's up to you guys. Do you want me to restart the stream, try something else, or you want to just roll with it? Yeah, right. Ouch is a ouch. So. Do I have a USB camera? No, not at the moment. Vicious quality was kind of better than you don't like fixation, digitation. You know, you will be able to watch it back when the nice thing about this is that you will be able to watch it back later without the pixelation, I'm pretty sure. So suffer through it for now. But no, I can see what's happening, and it's not ideal. Side note, your hands are at 2 frames per second. Really that? Side note, Geo posted people make cackle. Well, it's really funny when people that they're being anonymous and it's not anonymous, or when people think they can block moderators and hide. Like you can't do that. Let me try something once. Did it just cut? Still live. It's sooner or later. I realize you haven't thought about it.
Look, just tell me, what do you say?
Let's do the reading for a little bit. Alright, y'all. So, in case you didn't know, I wrote a book. It's got my face on it. Very cool. Very good. So, let's read from my book. Should we start at chapter 1? Or should we skip past chapter 1 because it's kind of extra? Chapter 1, Why? This introduction chapter is meant to cover a number of why questions. A key motivator in doing anything in life is finding a why to give purpose to the endeavor. In the same spirit, this book will begin with why, leaving the what and how questions to be answered in much greater extent within the later chapters. Why? Why do we glove? Why is gloving even a thing? Why is gloving an art? Why even bother writing about gloving? Why a physical book? Why should anyone care? All of these questions are very important to cover before diving into the historical and technical content that this book will be based around. The first question to cover is why a book? Simply put, there's always value to having a published text that details the history culture of a particular subject. I thought his shirt said Muppet Masters, and I got excited. Yeah, it is actually a Muppet Masters shirt. Gang. For the art of gloving, that text did not yet exist. Gloving was born out of a societal taboo, but I believe in the value of the art form. The fact that gloving was created in an environment that's outcast and looked down upon doesn't dismiss the aesthetic value of the art and the creative contributions to society that artists provide. Those contributions range from being as simple as the entertainment value that we get from our everyday engagement in the art, to as complex as the research that precedes the fundamental guides each generation will use to learn faster. Since such a guide is one of the first steps required for the art to be appreciated, it is very important for the of this art form to the public word. Very few people in society glove with any sort of fondness or value. Many glovers are not taken seriously in regards to being actual artists rather than science playing with finger toys. Part of this lies in the undeniable fact that brightly colored lights and persistence of vision, perception of trails, is inherently associated with alterations to a person's consciousness level. Gloving can be best described as the use of LED lights in white gloves to create persistent visions, illusions, timed music. These persistence effects are particularly inclined to reveal just how we can our perceptions with glitch in the matrix. This same glitch is one of the many reasons why people use substances as ultra-conscious states. Flexoman. Yes, I was having a lurvy tea. What the lurvy? I'm not. I think I'm having a strong. They're often looking. Excuse me. They are often looking for some kind of escape or change to a sober experience for any number of reasons, and for that reason, entertainment and substance abuse tend to hold a hand-in-hand relationship with it throughout history. This isn't just the drug, sex, and rock and roll sense either, as the examples littered throughout history of sporting events being sponsored and funded by producers and sellers of societies, of producers and sellers. I'm going to take that back. This isn't just the sex, drugs, and rock and roll sense either, as there are examples littered throughout history of sporting events being sponsored and funded by the producers or sellers of society's legal drug of choice. A recent specific example proves how valid forms of entertainment can be born out of the constant urge to alter consciousness. is America's pastime, baseball. Shout out Rangers for winning the World Series last night. As a fledgling amateur game, baseball was dismissed as riff-raff entertainment. It was seen by the church as a sinful practice due to the stigma of the game being tainted with drunkards and boozards. But the alcohol companies took advantage of this in order to create large-scale sales mechanisms. These sponsored games grew into what is known as the MLB today. People might have laughed at the idea of a baseball training manual 150 years ago, but today there are millions of people who have studied baseball's fundamentals through the training materials passed down by the passionate players that decided to compile what they know about the sport they love. Let's take a step back and ask, who reads books anymore anyways? While there will always be passionate readers and pleasure readers, for the most part, textbooks as a learning tool are obsolete. Hardly anyone from Generation XYZ will learn from books as a main tool, and this is because of YouTube. Any subject in existence can be typed into the search bar of YouTube, and thousands of results ranging from professionals to condescending teenagers will come up, showing you every different possible way to learn the information. For most students and hobbyists in the 21st century, 11-minute audiovisual guides tend to trump extensive text when it comes to content absorption. However, YouTube lacks the in-depth detail that can be covered by a text, as well as a certain level of authority that can be found in earning the title of author. There is a clear reason to care more about the opinion of those who have been able to gather their thoughts and research together in a cohesive publication over the everyday YouTuber. This isn't to discount the value of YouTube content either. Each has its niche, which is why before I was an author, I started out creating tutorial content on youtube.com/IamTheJest before committing to writing Glowing's first book. Chances are, if you're reading this book now, you're following my Glowing via YouTube or other social platform. That describes you. I am grateful for the support on that channel. Wow, this is getting really meta right now, isn't it? This is getting extremely meta. Wow. Wow, guys. Wow. I'm talking about you right now. The biggest reason I have finally decided to write this book is that it will be the first of its kind no one has ever written a book on gloving. The first people who have drafted documents, the few people who have drafted documents on their own specific theories haven't come forward with as ambitious as a project as an actual published book. The thoughts occurred to me to get their permission to publish some books of theirs in this first attempt to immortalize gloving in the literary world. However, it is more valuable to the community if they see this project as the inspiration to refine and publish what they have already written. Luckily, there are no gloving documents yet, so there is no need for professional citations. There are a lot of theories and techniques that can benefit from being developed via written word. If you are reading this and you have also thought about putting your theories about gloving into words, I implore you to do so. I will make quotes and citations to the various published works that exist on other fingerstyles or movement arts that preceded and inspired the gloving art form. There is no denying the long history humans have with hands. It's merely the addition of LEDs to the hands that is fairly new to human history. One part of this project was to create a comprehensive list of the pioneers of the finger stance. It would be a great benefit to the new generations of glovers to know where they came from. It will be by no means complete, but again, hopefully this will inspire some of the other pioneers written to outline the history of why the gloving generations lost interest in the scene. Becoming drives out is a major hurdle to get over the term of longevity in the gloving commit over to get. Oh my God. Okay, let me take that back. Figuring out why the older gloving generations lost interest in the scene and overcoming the stigma that drives them out is a major hurdle to get over in terms of longevity of the gloving community. I believe that this project can provide a sort of proof that there is something valuable to learn from our years of light show experience. I actually want to kind of speak on that for a second. 3 years ago when I wrote that, it didn't occur to me that I know exactly what it means or what it feels like to kind of fade away from gloving, because I definitely don't participate in the hobby as much as I did, or even as much as I did 3 years ago. But even 3 years ago, I didn't do it as much as I did a year and a half before that. So realistically, the problem is there is no end game for glovers. When it comes to it, once you get a certain good, there's not much more you can do with it. And it takes people who are going to be streaming consistently or writing something consistently or content creating in order to get them to want to be interested in producing those things and be active in the community. But it all comes back to how much we're rewarded for creating those things, and how much, watch time people spend on those things too. Because unfortunately, YouTube as a tool rewards bigger, longer watch time, and getting that out of something on YouTube is, I guess, really comes down to the YouTubers who do this. The people, the glovers who do this, need to be able to understand that there's no promise of immediate reward for what you're gonna be creating, and that's the reality. That's the reality, that you be able to be willing to still do it, and there's not many people who are willing to put in that work without the immediate instant gratification reward. So Dave said, "Endgame, hello, it's the journey." Yeah, I mean, realistically, gloving is really a lot about the journey, but also for someone who has been journeying through gloving for a long time, sometimes you gotta find some new horizons, I guess, if you want to pay off, become a CPA. Yeah, true. That's true. All right, continuing on. Why this hobby? The next question to be answered is, why do we choose to glove? That is, why do we cast our illuminated, time-sensitive decorations through space? What purpose does it serve for applying tiny illuminated computers to the ends of our manual phalanges? The first important answer is that gloving is a concept found in purpose as entertainment, and with it, the possibility of escape for a short while. Gloving indulges some escapism that has manifested itself in various forms of entertainment like theater, cinema, or even magic. Humans constantly create new ways to attempt to bring meaning to, or simply forget about, their menial lives for a bit. Anything that can make the stress and suffering of life vanish, however briefly, will find its niche in the world. That's facts. That's spitting right there. There's also something to be said about the value of discipline and dexterity that can be gained through patient practice. Some people treat gloving and the other flow arts as sort of stand-in for meditation while they seek the benefits and joys of honing skill. Such practice can be likened to that of development of martial arts, save for the implied physical violence that serves the purpose of self-defense in less interesting time. Glove techniques may not protect you from harm as martial arts will. Who knows? Maybe someone will think you're practicing whoop tai chi and not really want to fight you. There's also the often overlooked aspect of social connection that comes along with being an active member in a flow art community, or any community for that matter. Whether it's just about making a few friends who like the same hobbies as you, or making a name for yourself in the local or national niche hobby community, there are great times to be had and valuable social capital to be earned. But those things can be gained from any hobby. So why specifically do we glove? As the author of this book, I can only truly speak to why I started gloving. As a child, I was always interested in the astounding. I was fixated on anything that could stimulate a reaction of wonder and amazement. Skills and talents like object manipulation, cardistry, sleight of hand became my childhood muses, while the latter even developed into a sort of career for my teen years. One of the magic routines I would perform involved the use of colored thimbles, like finger caps, that I would manipulate to appear and disappear and multiply. Since the very beginning, that effect was set to music and intentionally choreographed to look like a dance. It was mid-year of high school when a friend put me onto electronic music, which he would play in the halls via a speaker, and he would walk classes and do his little liquid waves with his hands. It interested me greatly. He told me to visit a website called .net, which was a project put together by Kai Sosleys and Hadoken, two liquid dance legends. I used this information to learn my first hand wave, and that simple technique was in my thimble magic act. I performed this combination of liquid dance and magic, I performed this combination of liquid dance and magic conjuring set to electronic music until around 2010. A friend told me that I was doing something that looked just like gloving. I didn't know what gloving was at the time, but once I saw it, I instantly knew. I told this friend, well, that's what I'm trying to do. By this point, I was more than sold on electronic dance music culture, and going to shows was my next step. I bought a set of pre-wired gloves and went to my first rave at 18 years old on New Year's Eve 2011. Even then, the Minnesota gloving community existed to some degree because I saw a number of people who I now know to be using E-Dot glove sets ordered from Amazing Lights. This proto-community, to my knowledge, was not organized and certainly not around gloving itself, at least. Regardless, I saw enough light shows that night, and one mind-blowing tut, it was this one. That's it, that was the tut. And one mind-blowing tut that convinced me to pay closer attention to my hands. That night I wasn't more than a hand waver who could do very basic liquid dance, but it was the night that created a drive to understand the nuances about how hands could move. This magic and dance origin is a huge influence in my gloving style to this day. My interest in gloving reached a tipping point in 2013 at Ripon College, Wisconsin. This nowhere place in the middle of a nowhere state was where I decided to spend a year in higher education for some reason. I learned a number of things at the school that made me realize I didn't need to waste my time and money at a fancy $40,000 a year school. Despite my short time at school, I learned one of the most influential pieces of information about ancient Sanskrit art form called Mudra Yoga, which I will describe in detail throughout the various parts of this book. In short, mudra hand gestures were used for both meditation and dance. The gestures were a language for dancing, while also being a healthy body and soul-aligning stretch for the hands. This information empowered me to take glove light shows seriously as an art form and worthwhile endeavor. After all, if hand gesture dance art was good enough to survive throughout the ages from the time of ancient Sanskrit, then there must be something to it as a fundamentally moving and memorable experience. Learning the history of mudra in dance set in motion a passion for bringing that level of complexity and storytelling to the light show meta. There was a number of these so-called aha moments over the course of my gloving progression, but none was so pivotal as learning the ancient secrets. All of these moments of progression and reasons for my passion for light shows mixed themselves into a special concoction of circumstances that led to this book. Oh, give me my music back. Where did it go? Why in art? Art is subjective by nature, but there are aesthetic principles within art that are objective. The beauty of art subjectivity is that it frees us to select which aspects of aesthetic to highlight. There's no wrong way to do or create art. I don't know why this thing just won't give me come back. Come on back. There is no wrong way to do or create art. There exists numerous subjects with which to create a wide variety of emotions or themes. There can exist forms of art that are diametrically opposite in terms of inspiration and production that maintain zero similarity with one another, besides the simple fact that they both remain art. As such, when someone says there is no wrong way to glove, that is correct in so much as the objective aesthetics can be vastly varied in terms of how techniques are applied or even applied at all. One could attempt to abandon all forms of aesthetic principles in order to make something intentionally, artistically unaesthetic. Doing this intentionally would take understanding foundations of aesthetics in order to make the opposite choices, unless the artistic instincts are just so bad that they gravitate towards the most unaesthetic choices possible. Saying there is no wrong way to glove is also true in the sense that some people only glove for fun. Conversely, others glove for more personal reasons like discipline, dance interconnections, or even glory. The fact is that there is no wrong reason to glove, nor is there a wrong reason to make art. The only exception to this rule are the reasons that are intended to harm people. But some people just have fun by putting their hands in paint and smearing it on canvas. Will they sell their art for millions? Highly unlikely. However, that doesn't disqualify it as art. Conversely, some art does sell for millions of dollars, and that makes the creator both famous and wealthy. Similarly, that art cannot be disqualified as art merely by nature of the commercialized process behind it. The artist cannot be blamed for the art being so vastly and widely appreciated and consumed by the masses who give them their fame. The artist cannot be blamed for the art being so vastly and widely appreciated and consumed by the masses who give them their fame. Selling out is a derogatory term used to vilify an artist for succeeding within their lifetime goal of spreading their communication form and emotion to an audience they have within reach. Even blaming artists for taking direction from those providing them with a contract or a payment is seen as selling out, when in fact it's hardly stifling an artist's true creativity. They are, in truth, getting an opportunity to create someone else's vision with their talents, and in doing so, get well rewarded for the art they made of two or more minds. Those who create art for fun without the burden of discipline or skill are welcome to participate in the art as lightly as they see fit. These types retain a sort of innocence by remaining unburdened by the efforts to make art more appealing and more polished to the people viewing and consuming their art form. This innocence remains as long as they don't make the mistake of seeing themselves as morally superior to those who find more satisfaction and fun from learning techniques and disciplines that adhere to objective aesthetic principles. For some, the burden of raising the standard at which light shows are held is a passion and an ambition. For the people who see the value in growing their skills and maintaining a set discipline, it is important for them not to see that as a shiny, decorative badge on their ego. It's easy to lay claim of elitism towards those who seek to be great in their skill set. For this reason, they have to be hyper aware that they do not act out in condescension to those who are not on the same journey. And similarly, those who do not seek to understand what ways and improve art saying the other is wrong, because this relation between those two types of engagements are what makes art what it is. Art is accessible. You can make art of any time. There's no wrong way to do art. However, aesthetics matter too, and it is my goal to use the rest of this book to show all of the aesthetic principles of gloving and how they can be used, perfected, maximized to make the most entertaining glove light show possible. Now, why at all? Gloving is a weird art form. There is nothing more absurd than the idea of creating art with the individual finger lights. It is almost abhorrent to nature itself. Hands were created to be tools for interacting with one environment. But we've gotten to the point where that environment point involves multicolored micro LEDs. It seems abhorrent, but due to the fact that they exist at all, suggests that it is inevitable. Of course, it sounds ridiculous to say this out loud. Waving LEDs through the air was only a matter of time. But given a few aspects of history and human nature, again, the fact that it exists at all, despite being radically unorthodox concept, I think that gloving is the inevitable result of a culture that mixes everything together. Almost 20 years of exponential technology advancement, and humans have found a knack for combining completely unrelated and reasonably unexpected things to create something new and exciting. Gloving is the perfect example. It combines technology, dance, sleight of hand, music, and even a level of one-on-one intimacy, that creates an art form that is an unforgettable experience to behold. Heavy chopping coming in. Good miss chunks. Seems to be smoothing. I'm sorry about the shitty connection. The one-on-one nature of gloving form of the one-on-one nature of the gloving art form implies a number of things. First and foremost, gloving is, on its surface, limited by the smallness of its perspective. This is because the lights only maintain an enveloping illusion from a very close distance. This means if you aren't seeing from the perspective of the individual receiving the gloving light show, it's unlikely to have the desired effect. As limiting as this seems, the lack of crowd scaling potential opens the door for something different, something that no other art form, with the exception of close-up magic, truly has capitalized on. This is a level of intimacy in the moment of the experience. Intimacy is what creates the true value of the gloving art form. Festival culture is a melting pot of various styles of performance art, visual art, makeup and costumes, and of course music. All of these art forms played a role in the development of gloving from a simple light toy into a complex subculture. Because of the nature of gloving performance to be limited in terms of perspective, requirements, and intimacy of the art, the gloving culture has stayed on the fringes of modern mainstream electronic dance music culture. While similar flow and light, fire or LED-based performance arts like poi spinning and hooping have long since established themselves as worthwhile circus style arts, and are so often booked by EDM festivals and events, gloving has been treated much differently since its infancy. Due to a few unfortunate circumstances and some misinformed government officials, gloving found itself facing a ban from events on the West Coast. This stunted its growth of the culture due to its events confiscating and removing gloves venue rather than booking talented artists to perform and entertain patrons as they do with hoops and poi. All right, so that was chapter 1. Why did I write a book? Right there, chapter 1. We are going to do some more finger wiggles. And then this computer comes back on, maybe. I would like to do some more finger wiggles. As soon as I can get this computer to turn back on. Here it goes. Alright, so get the book, yougotmoves.com/handbook, grab a copy.
Sometimes those choices
Not very many of them left. I'm gonna make something new for next year, by the way. Oh yeah, is this the PC that was in the shop? No, this is a replacement laptop that I've been using. My PC is still in the shop a month later, so very cool. I'm gonna basically go pick it up when I get home. I'm gonna pick it up and do, yeah. What up, Steven? Micro Center Dallas doesn't have anyone who knows how to do water cooling. So my computer's been sitting there for a month while they try to figure out how to get one of their salespeople who knows how to do water cooling off the sales floor for long enough to fix my fucking PC, which is crazy to me that they can't just fucking do it. If they don't have it fixed by the time I get home, I'm just gonna go pick it up and like do it myself because it's insane. That's wild. Did your loop break? No, my loop didn't break. So this RV that I've been living in has fried 3 of my pumps. It's because of unregulated electricity currents, or at least not unregulated, but like surges that are too powerful for whatever surge capacitor we have on this thing. So what I did is I bought a uninterruptible power source that can be in between the RV and the PC itself. So it won't happen again, but they still haven't fucking fixed it, so I don't know.
Better keep your door shut, because you won't last more than 5 minutes playing this.
Like the
Well, when you get it, I'm an IT nerd, and with I'm an IT nerd, I can't see it. If you would like some assistance, yeah, I probably would like some assistance, realistically. I mean, I need to learn how to do this shit anyways, because I can't be at the mercy of a fucking someone else who can fix my PC. I need to know how to do this myself. That's just the end of the story, really.
Yo, BK, go and drop that dope shit.
It's not too crazy, but you got it. I mean, the only reason that I built the PC in the first place. So, like, the only reason that I didn't fix it is because I had Micro Center rebuild it, which is crazy to me. They were able to rebuild the PC in a shorter amount of time than it takes for them to take out a pump, drain it, take a new pump, take out a pump, put a new pump in. Like, Micro Center, what are you doing? You built the water cooling PC. You had one of your sales guys do it. Just fucking do it again. I don't understand. Yeah, I mean, it's insane to me. I'm gonna call him again, basically, before I leave. I just don't really want to think about it while I'm here. Because it's not like I can go pick it up anyways. I'm PC-less until I get home regardless.
You got on that motherfucking OE, dog.
The last Anakin reel was fire. Thank you. I got another banger coming up that I gotta make it. I might make it tonight. The caption got cut off. But yeah, I know, it's fine though. Mantis Saber by Double Paper. Yeah, I'll fix that. The Mantis Saber is by NeoPixel, or not NeoPixel, but NeoSabers. NeoSabers sent me the thing to make a piece of content so that they could. First, I thought you had pipe clamps up your gauntlet. Close, yeah. But no, NeoSaber sent me the Mantis Pro in order to make something cool, and what I did, here it is right here actually. I took, it's a single, it's the size of one normal hilt, right? But it's a dual saber. It's a dual-sided lightsaber. And so what I did is I cut one of the NeoPixels really short and put a pommel at the bottom. So this side is blade, obviously, and then this side is just short, like a vent, pommel vent type of situation. So Mantis Saber by neosabers.com. Use code JEST for 10% off. Is it 10% or 5%? Might be 5%, but oops.
Still a discount.
Still a discount. That occurs to me that I might have put 10% on that piece of content from before. So, I'm hungry, and there's food in front of me, and the stream is lagging anyway, so I'm going to call it a night here. Stay tuned later. I might do another stream from Disney with lightsabers. So keep an eye out for a notification that I am live for a second time. That will be just lightsabers at Disney inside Galaxy's Edge. So stick around for that later tonight. Watch for a notification for that later tonight.